And we're back. How's it
Howdy.
going, everyone? Happy.
Howdy.
Oh, I thought you said happy.
I said howdy.
I'm happy to be back too.
Howdy, folks.
I got the old cafeteria lady going on,
Oh
a
yeah.
little slick back,
Yeah.
All right, so
looks real solid.
yeah, I did this at I don't know if you know Matt Papadopoulos. There's another guy. Don't worry about it.
Sounds Greek.
Yeah, he's Greek. He's hella Greek. So yeah, I put my headphones like this, and he was like, "Dude, you look like a lunch lady." I'm like, "Thanks, dude. You want some meatloaf?"
I would love some if you can go get some little burrito. If anyone would like to come into the La Penta radio station and bring me a burrito, I would appreciate that.
That'd be very nice. That'd be very nice. We'll have you on next time, even. We're pretty famous. Yeah, we have 2 listeners. We have me and Hunter. So yeah, we're pretty famous.
Yeah, my mom doesn't even listen.
You gotta send her the link. You know what I'm saying?
She said no.
No time, dude. No time. All right. So we were on the topic of gun control. How it should be regulated. How it makes sense to have it in the United States. And you were right when you spoke about Venezuela banning it. I feel like might be at least
now the only
somewhat
one
a
who
little
has
bit
the
better
guns is the army of the oppressors.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense. And people always make the argument that
it happened in every other communist state as well.
Yeah, exactly. That people make the argument that we don't need guns. And if the government wants to take over, they would just break out the tanks and all that jazz. They break out the big weapons, but like that's not how you.
The infantry would not let that happen. The people operating those machines would not fire upon their own people.
And even if they did,
not in America.
Yeah, not in America.
We have a volunteer army that will not fire on citizens. In China, maybe.
Yeah.
But North Korea, yeah. Places where the soldiers are brought up only being trained to kill and maim and have blind loyalty to their thing.
And even if they did do it, that's not how you control a country.
No.
The way you control a country is boots on the ground, soldiers on the corners, guns in their hands.
Just having noble citizens, good citizens.
Exactly. So if a tyrannical government wanted to control its country, it doesn't want to blow up its own country. Because if it blew up its own country, it's ruling over dirt, So it wants to rule over people and an economy. So that's why they have boots on the ground and guns in their hands. But you can't do that in the United States of America when everyone has a gun. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's
necessary.
Yeah, it's very necessary.
It's ingrained in our culture to prevent America's worst fear,
which is a tyranny, a fascist government, if you will.
And that needs to be necessary because if any an administration plans to do that or take it, it's just a dangerous idea.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous idea. It's a dumb idea because of it, because of the Second Amendment.
You cannot let emotions dictate how you look at laws and rationale.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, bad things will happen. There will be crazy men out there. There will always be crazy men wanting to do bad things. Boston Marathon was a crock pot and a handful of nails.
Exactly.
If you want to do something horrible, there's a lot of ways to do it besides a gun. You can't look at the instrument of the tool and that.
I think
when Columbine happened, most of the blame was on Marilyn Manson and Eminem and most of the music and pop culture figures.
Exactly.
Wasn't even talking about the guns. That was the Bush administration. Not even talking about gun control. It's the Satanist music and the rap and the rock and roll. It's all these bad influences on our kids.
Yeah, exactly. But it really wasn't. It was just
the kids bullying main issue.
Exactly.
Bullying is a main issue for school shootings.
And while exactly. While I feel like gun regulation can be improved. To be fair, almost anything in the country can be improved.
Should be improved.
I'm sorry?
Gun dissemination should be improved.
What do you mean by that?
Enough people are ignorant to them or just scared of them.
So knowledge about it.
Education.
Yeah, education about guns.
Not putting it in
and learning how to handle a gun, because
learning how to respect the weapon.
Exactly.
Back then, kids were hundreds of years were raised learning how to respect swords and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Same way, they learned how to respect a tool. Learn it wasn't a scary thing ooh, a sword.
Yeah, it's not just a thing that you have in your hand and just automatically kills.
No, it's a tool.
Exactly, it's a tool, and
people you could protect yourself with this, or you could be a very evil person. That you get the choice.
Exactly,
or you could protect others if you see something bad happening.
And I remember great article, obviously shared by Fox, not so much shared by everyone else, was a uh, grocery store robbery was happening in Texas, and I think every customer but one drew their guns.
I just pointed at him.
Yeah, and like, oh, what are you gonna do now, buddy?
You're gonna rob the store, right?
Yeah, bet.
Yeah, walk out the door.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
just get down.
That's like that was honestly
citizens arrested until cops come.
Yeah, like that was honestly like the premier example of what it's what it should be. Honestly, what it honestly should be.
Yes, because if you give a rational person a gun walking around, they're not going to use it unless something happens.
Exactly.
Like if you had one in your pocket and you were trained how to use it, you're not getting touched unless you see like a burglar running down the street. Not even.
Exactly.
If you see a burglar running, you're not going to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's
just a situation.
That's what holsters are for, you know.
Yeah,
that's what
thing. Wild West worked out for a while.
Exactly, and people think it's just savage to have like guns everywhere, and it really isn't.
Savage not to, and it's ignorant because the wolves are still gonna get it. You can't be a sheep.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just I don't know. It's and to be fair, I understand people don't want guns, you know, maybe because of past experiences, this that and the other.
Emotion decide that.
Yeah, like that, and
as illegal as they are, I could be in and out and get one in 30 minutes.
That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like how easy someone can get it.
You could find one.
Exactly. Like how easy someone can get a gun is the problem, I think. With having guns is not
scratched off everything.
Yeah, like it shouldn't be that hard.
Or shouldn't be that easy. Go through a years-long process, paying hundreds of dollars for some nonsense.
Yeah, like it just shouldn't be extremely easy to get a gun. Even you can go to Walmart and buy a hunting rifle. I don't think
you need a gun license and training.
So, yeah, like I don't know, or a gun show even. That's like the best place to go to get a gun real quick, and you can find one on Facebook easy. You know what I'm saying? Those should be regulated. Some kind of regulation needs to be in like input, because I feel like it's just too easy to get guns, even with history, like bad background.
And the only feasible way to do that is to put a whole register of weapons based on serial numbers, and that can't do that.
Yeah,
it sounds nice, but you can't.
Yeah, that'd be great, but like,
how are you gonna
I don't know, like,
how are you gonna catalog every gun in the country?
Yeah, it'd be really it's like cataloging every, I don't know,
as many guns as people we have.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, I don't know, cataloging on tables, you know, like something like that. Like obviously, like something technological, like a phone. They can probably tell you that because of how like they're active or how many they've sold or whatever, right? Yeah. It won't be exact, but it'll be really close. Hypothetically, you could do the same with guns. You know, put a chip inside. We got the technology, etc. But then I don't see the safety in that because of government surveillance. Like obviously, anyone buys a gun is.
I wouldn't want them to turn off.
Exactly. You know, exactly. So we could start a registry. It wouldn't solve the problem, obviously, immediately. Yeah. It would take time. But then, even so, you know, leftover guns from before the registry would still be in the loop, just like $2 bills are, you know.
Yeah. So as red as you are you calling for a revolution?
I'm not calling for a revolution. I am not calling for a revolution. I'm calling for a government that cares about the American people, which we don't. I feel we don't have right now.
Be built through the ashes of this old one.
Yeah, it could be for sure.
Okay, so you are open to the idea of revolution.
Not over like super revolution, but like obviously not, you know, like take down the White House.
Yeah, comrade,
I'm open to the idea of a change in government, in the fundamentals.
Through violence.
Not through violence.
Okay.
Not through violence. I don't think that's the answer.
All right.
I think we've changed our government very, very drastically through nonviolence a lot of times.
All right. So in the words of Gandhi, nonviolence.
Yes. And it's been done in country after country. In India, that's a perfect example, with a much bigger population than us. Although that was very hard.
Did you get what I did there with non?
No.
Non-violence, the bread.
The bread? You mean the bread lines? Non.
Like.
You're. All right, good one. That was good.
So today's Ash Wednesday.
Speaking of building from the ashes, yeah, I didn't get to go to church today. Have you? No, I guess not.
I'm a Satanist.
You're a Satanist, I see. All right. So no ashes for you. No,
I just think the organization is one of the most darkest and evil organizations to persist throughout history.
I don't know
They have
about the Catholic Church.
single-handedly stifled the human experience by 300 years.
You think so?
Dark Ages.
Because of the medieval ages, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Ages were not fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it was.
On the other hand, though, many contributions made to science were made, albeit they would have been made regardless of them if we had bright minds.
And in the West, at least.
And the church controlled the amount of education society had for so long, willingly keeping the society ignorant just so they could believe their beliefs and keep their little machine going.
Yeah. I definitely think the history of the Catholic Church is not the best.
All the sick allegations coming out in 2018 across the globe just makes me even furthermore think they're a dark, distrustful organization.
I just feel like the religion.
And if you have a core belief in that, you should not be associated with that organization. You should just have beliefs to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like
horrible organization has become warped.
Yeah, I hope they become better. It'd be nice to have a nice organization about.
They're a dark web.
Yeah, it's hard to
how much
to cleanse that much.
Their secrets they have hidden away in their.
Yeah, exactly. That's what honestly is I feel is good about Islam. It's not centralized. Islam is mostly the same, place to place, but obviously different.
Open to interpretation, a lot of infighting, and how you interpret it.
That's the problem.
They don't have somebody to say how it's supposed to be interpreted.
And that's what's good about the Catholic Church. The bad things about the Catholic Church is the corruption.
That was only good when people couldn't read. You needed someone to interpret it for you.
Yeah, I mean,
can read. And
yeah, no.
The church.
So you think religion should be an individual thing, not a group thing?
Yes, it should be personal to yourself and your own life, because however you view religion affects your life and nobody else.
I guess that makes sense. Like how you feel about how you interpret things. You can't live
to anyone else's moral standards because nobody else had to go through your life to put you in those moral decisions.
To be fair, though, even so, like if you read, like say the Bible, whatever, and interpreted it yourself.
I've read the Bible, the Quran, and the Satanic Bible.
Right. Well, if you know this, that, and the other, if you read it yourself and you had your own interpretations, I think still it would be good to get others' interpretations to then form a greater understanding about.
You don't need a blind following to an organization.
No, you don't. I mean,
it could be like a circle, like how
exactly.
Talk about ideas, exchange ideas, kind of like a Parisian or Socratic like forum.
Yeah, like the
exchanging of ideas and thoughts. That's what a religion should be. Not you're a wrong follower. You do not follow God the right way.
Yeah. This right way is what's the problem. I think
I live my life through God's standards, limiting my human experience because I'm promised gold at the end of this rainbow, which may or not be true 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's something else. One thing though that is associated with religion is happiness. To be fair,
but going back to those Middle Ages, those people had to live their lives toiling in the fields, doing nonsense, saying live a pure sinful life, like a pure sin-free life, which is a very good lifestyle to promote for good workers who you want to keep docile and innocent.
Yeah, for sure.
She wanted to keep all these peasants entertained
until they die, and then they'll be happy to die because they think
they're with a good life. They get to go to heaven.
So yeah, if you look at it in I'd say a cynical manner like that, yeah, it's hella good to keep down. You know what I'm saying?
But if they start questioning, thinking, wait, where's the proof?
Ooh, and then the witch trials start, and then. This is an outsider.
Science and all this.
Exactly, and that's honestly, yeah, people who are
science advancements willingly ignored.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and it was finally, someone said enough, not totally to the whole religion, but the way it was when Martin Luther came around and 95 Theses.
Like, if they stood on their ways, that it would have crumbled.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's a Protestant thing.
Too.
Yeah, and then Church of England, all this Anglican and all that jazz. But
King Henry VIII, the Tudor dynasty, had its best monarch ever, Queen Elizabeth I.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, isn't it?
Ironically, he wanted a son. His daughter's the best monarch England ever has.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, he kept on having daughter after daughter, right?
Yeah, and it was his third child that took the throne. First one was Edward, died young. Then it was a Bloody Mary. She was Bloody Mary. And then it was Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. Religion's something else.
Yeah.
I just believe in Jesus Christ's teachings myself.
I just believe in living life for me.
That's an interesting way. That's a hedonistic way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a way to live.
Satanists don't even worship the devil.
That makes sense. I know they don't. Yeah, it's just how they
use him as like an idol, kind of like how Buddhists don't worship the Buddha.
Yeah, they use him as an idol. Exactly.
Like methods of how to live life.
Yeah. So that's all the time we got for this week. Thanks for tuning in.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Indeed. It's been Hunter and Matthew, and we'll
H&M, weekdays at 5,
yes, weekday, yes, week
Wednesdays at 5.
Wednesdays at 5.
Not weekdays. We ain't got that many days yet. But
Yeah, that'd
if
be
you want
great,
us, we
dude.
might.
Yeah. So Wednesdays at 5. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
All right, later, beautiful people.